Today's topic, the Olympic boxing match that's turned into a big worldwide controversy. I think everyone's just got it wrong, all right?
Oh, you talk about you talk about the trans girl that, no, man, that was crazy. This trans woman was allowed to compete.
Okay, so they're not trans. They've never been trans. They've never identified as anything other than what they've been. They were born a female, and then they were raised as a female.
But they failed a gender test.
We'll get to all of that in a second.
Testosterone.
We'll get all that. Let's give you the context. Okay, so the context is there's a boxing match that just happened at the Olympics in which an Italian fighter fought an Algerian fighter, and the Italian fighter, after one round, basically withdrew from the fight.
46 seconds.
And said, I'm not going to keep fighting. According to her, it felt very different. It felt like being with something different. And even her coach, before the match started, said, hey, listen, if you don't want to do this fight, she decided to do it. The questions were risen. Well, who is this person, and are they trans? And some people point to the fact that they were disqualified by the IBA, which is the International Boxing Association, in 2023 for failing a gender test. And everyone went, oh my God. The IOC affirms the fact that this person is a female, always has been, and everyone is now talking about this issue.
So there's no transition here.
All right. There's never been a transition, okay? This person was not born anything other than what they are. What has essentially happened is that the IBA disqualified them. Now, some people aren't aware, but the IBA is a Russian-led organization that's been at odds with the IOC for quite some time, and then in 2019 was stripped of its ability to govern over boxing matches and to be seen as like a subsidiary of the IOC. The reason why is IOC, International Olympic Committee, normally defers to certain bodies to manage regional and international competitions, and based off who wins from that, those athletes get to go to the Olympics, okay? Because obviously the IOC can't manage swimming, sports vaulting, so they defer to other organizations. And the IBA used to be that organization until it was stripped of it for not providing good financial reports, for basically sketchy behavior in a lot of other realms in terms of decisions, and not having rigorous systems set in place. So they got stripped of that. They kept running events, and a lot of boxers participated. And at one such event where there was an undisclosed test, essentially there was some gender abnormalities, but we don't know what that means. And there's no assertion that these people are trans from any of the bodies involved. That's something that the internet has taken and ran with, but that's not the case. There's a possibility that either of these two athletes could be intersex, but we don't know. And intersex is much similar to the South African runner for Caster Semenya when she was disqualified for some time, but then re-qualified after the governing bodies decided that intersex people should be allowed to compete. And if you're not familiar with what intersex is, let me just read the textbook definition so there's no ambiguity, okay? We're gonna do the whole goddamn thing. Intersex.
It's funny that you try to read the definition of so that there's no ambiguity about something that's so ambiguous.
True. Intersex people are individuals born with any several sex characteristics, including chromosome patterns, gonads, or genitals that, according to the official United Nations of High Commissions, do not fit the typical binary notions of male or female bodies. And what does that mean? You can present in a lot of different ways. You could be born as a female in all the presenting ways, and maybe your chromosomes are different. You could be born looking like a traditional female and maybe have a different genitalia. Little changes like that. That has nothing to do with transgenderisms. All these individuals are born this way. Now, the question that comes after is there some level of heightened advantage that these people have? And even that's not clearly determined. All of this is speculation. Nobody has access to these people's medical records, and they're never going to get access to them, because if I had medical records, I don't want nobody releasing my shit without my consent. You guys have watched this channel long enough. I have always been against transgenders transitioning and then competing in a different gendered sport, okay? I don't accept that. I've always been against that. This has nothing to do with that, okay? And jumping to conclusions, being outraged over the situation is essentially doing the exact same thing that you were worried transgenders were going to do to biological women. You are stripping a woman's right to be able to compete in something that she should be able to compete in because you're being illogical. That is exactly what the people who championed transgenderism in sports did. Right? All the people who are championing all these trans women competing against biological women, you're doing the exact same thing as them with the same logic. Zero facts and science, zero evidence. You're just yelling at the top. That's stupid. Okay? I pass it off to you.
There was another boxer as well from China that was
Taiwan.
Taiwan, yes.
Do not do that shit, bro. Get me my fucking communist flag. That's crazy. Yo, you are bought and paid for. That's crazy.
I'm bought and paid for.
Bought and paid for. You know how much it costs to get YouTubers to say China instead of that country that shall not be named?
No, I wouldn't know because nobody proposed anything to me, but you know.
I don't know. You just rolling through with new motorcycles every time I see you.
How much is it?
I don't care. How much that cost in Chinese yen?
I wouldn't know.
No. See that little smile? We don't believe you. Carry on.
You have the same smile, nigga.
I don't have that smile.
Yeah.
I bicycled here.
Yeah. But you got condos and properties here and there.
I have one property.
No, you don't.
And it's a simple condo. And it's one.
Right.
Nice try, though. Nice try.
Right. Nice
try.
big condo.
How many bikes you got in your garage?
Oh, yeah. I don't have none.
On my driveway. You think I didn't know anything you gonna do? Yeah. How many cars? Okay, just saying. Okay.
All right. It's just I saw a lot of people on my social media jump on it and jump to the conclusion talking about, oh shit, female sport is at risk and this and that and whatever and the third. And a lot of people were jumping on the thing, like you said, without making the proper research and stuff. And then you look at it, and I saw nowhere was the mention of trans. And I started asking questions, and then I said to myself, would Algeria even let a trans person compete?
I would say that shit.
I would say.
Whoa. Roll that back. Would Algeria let a trans person compete? Would Algeria let a trans person exist?
Live. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't want...
Have you guys tried to look up the LGBTQ population in Algeria and Morocco? You know what they're doing? They're eating couscous in the sea. Okay? Because that's the only place where they're welcome. The fishes.
I'm just saying. So nowhere was there mention of that. And then... I was talking with some people. So, I know some people that fought her, and they felt the difference, and just one punch that was able to. I'm like, okay, so we're not gonna let Mike Tyson compete? Because I've seen Mike Tyson finish fights with the same people of the same weight category, just finish fights, and it felt different to some people that was fighting. Are we gonna base ourselves on that? I think we need to be a little bit more rigorous into the way we're feeling and the way what we're putting out there. Right? You understand what I'm saying? It's like I've seen the same instances with people that were from same weight class, and nothing was ambiguous about the way and everything and stuff. So. Just be careful of what you put out there.
Yeah. I think the big question is if they turn out to be intersex, which again, they may not be.
They may not be.
But if they were intersex, should they be allowed to compete? And then you get into a different discussion. Because people were like, well, we have to test their testosterone, which again, they never tested here. So even though that's trending on Twitter, the IBA admits that they never tested their testosterone levels or anything like that. Let's say they did test. And they said there's going to be an upper limit. That would be something that they would only apply to the female category, because the male category has no upper limit of how much testosterone you can have in your system naturally. No. So if you were born as a man with, no, there is none.
For testosterone?
Yeah, there's no upper limit. Now, if you're fine to take androgynous stuff that maybe makes your thing go really crazy, then they go for the androgynous stuff. But if you're naturally just supply with more testosterone than everyone else, there's no limit. And there's some people who have medical conditions that actually give them higher levels of natural testosterone. They'll go, oh, there's a picogram of this substance of Anavar or whatever. Or they've tested positive for this substance, but never for testosterone. That's not how it works. But it can be an indication that there may be some doping level. Yeah. But anyways, to come back. So you would essentially be putting in an upper limit to the female category that doesn't exist for the male category, which is unfair. And also, if you try to base this off chromosomes, well, listen, they might look like a female, they might have a uterus, give birth, everything, but if they have an XY chromosome, they shouldn't compete. There are women with XX chromosome who are intersex, okay? And they have conditions that give them higher levels of testosterone. So you have to understand, this is an incredibly complicated topic, but since the start of these competitions, we've always allowed intersex people to compete. It has not made it impossible or not possible for biological females of all kinds to be able to compete against them and win, including these two women who have lost many boxing matches and have come up short, okay? Also, for other little bit of information, Caster Semenya was reinstated for her gold medal and is allowed to compete, and that's been the rule. And if you got it wrong, that's okay. Listen, I've gotten things wrong. I've gotten details wrong in the story. I've had to retract statements. That's okay. I'm talking to the creators who didn't even do a basic Google search.
Just type in 2 words. You just have to go and...
And this is why I'm not on Twitter. Because everyone on Twitter just...
There's a lot of garbage over there.
Yeah. Also, this is a rumor alleged, so I just want to put this at the end. Supposedly, The reason why these two got banned for this gender test, is supposedly they went up against Russian fighters just before and defeated them, and then shortly afterward disqualified. Now that's something that people allege, but considering the history,
Where's the sheets? But considering the history of Russia,
but I'm putting a big disclaimer. That's a rumor.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Yeah.